guys, so we're finally back. Apologize for the long wait. We were incredibly overwhelmed, really, about the massive engagement, likes, comments. I think just people reaching out. I think when we originally had the intention of starting this, we thought we'd get to share it to family.
Yeah,
and
our nearest and dearest.
100%, get 4 views. It's now on 800, so clearly there's a need for the conversation, and I think we really couldn't be more proud and excited, really.
Yeah.
I
think in the core of it also just the essence of what we had intended to do is fulfilling that mission, and the fact that we had so many people reaching out, so many people just asking for more information. When's the next episode? Sorry it took this long, but life has been happening. We've had a change in terms of our home setup. Our au pairs relocated back to Durban. So it's been a holiday of note where we've been all hands on deck. So we did want to just start the new year by just coming to you and having a connect again. So,
100%. Yeah, and I think a lot of the feedback that we've been getting, especially because we're reaching people we never thought we could, people are reaching out to us and just asking for more information. So what we want to do is actually take a step back and tell you our story, how we started, why we just what this whole journey looked like from the beginning. So maybe let's start there.
Okay, so a lot of people wanted to know a little bit of introduction about who we are. So Rory and I met about 16 years ago, or 17 years ago, and we were best friends at first. So those who do know us are probably just giggling there now. But we were best friends, and I think we developed quite a unique relationship and friendship, and romance then obviously started to stem from that relationship. And soon into our friendship, we started dating and, go through the motions of what an anticipated relationship's milestones will be. One of the big factors that was something that we had to discuss was the fact that I have severe endometriosis. And it did mean that my doctor's prognosis was that I just needed to either have IVF or, fertility would become quite a big factor for us. So fast forward, we did go through the process of IVF. Do you want to maybe share a bit of that journey?
I think both of us had issues.
And like a year after being married, less than a year, it was always planned.
And we were both ready to be parents. I think it was just about when.
Yeah, Rory made me date him for 10 years before he asked me to marry him.
You have to be sure, right? You can never be too sure. No, I'm joking. No, I think, when the time is right. And God's timing is always on time.
Sure.
So we decided to go through that. Both of us had issues. Linda went through certain hormonal therapies. I went through hormonal therapies at the time. And we both, and so we basically gave it a go. The doctor said we didn't have much chance outside of
IVF.
IVF.
I don't know if many people know about the process of IVF, but just to show what a miracle it was that Ash is even here is the fact that we actually only had one viable embryo in the process, in the round of IVF. And the expense privately is just enormous in South Africa and I think around the world. But we had to pay for this entire thing cash. It was not covered by medical aid. And as a result of the cycle, which is your round of IVF, where they've stimulated your ovaries, you've got your eggs, they fertilize the semen, and now you're at a point where you've got viable embryos. We only had one.
I think we also, as you will see, we're pretty open about
everything.
Everything. It's probably our neurodiversity at the same time. But we don't shy away from conversations, right? So whenever we tell people, we're like, no, pray for us. And I think we found it quite different early on. Whenever people are going through IVF, they become very private, and for reason, right? Like a lot of the times it doesn't work.
Yeah, and it's a hard process.
Emotionally as well. People go down probably like 3 times and
more than one round.
And it's emotional. We went in guns blazing. We committed our plans to the Lord, and we trusted that everyone we came across, we asked to pray. So we were going in all eggs in a bucket, literally, and it was successful. I think
on the first round, the key thing. First round, first cycle, only one embryo.
Yeah.
There was just like a divine reason for us having Asher. And his name means happy, blessed, and fortunate. That is in the Bible. I think Rory and I, just from who we are, we live in Cape Town, just in terms of some of the demographics about us. And both of us have full-time jobs. So I'm in HR, Rory's in IT, and we are normal parents who just are hustling through life and trying to take care of our son. And yeah, we are a family of 3, and in this process also why we took a bit of time, we have to leave the current rental we're living in. So we were busy trying to find a house, which we have now found one. So there's a lot of things in the home front that has been happening. But anyway, going back to the IVF process, it was challenging. It was a very uneventful pregnancy, nothing that was like untoward. It was really just the norm. And then Asher was born actually 2 days before 2020's lockdown on the 24th of March 2020. So I do think, just to take a step back, it's something that we sort of had to really think about in terms of Asher's notable challenges, I would say, or differences, because it was very difficult for us to understand, is this just COVID or is it actually developmental delays? And I think in that tricky time where you're not seeing the key things for Asher being delayed speech, lack of eye contact, etc., you then tended to think it was about the mask, which you often said, hey.
Yeah, it was quite tricky, and we touched on that in our first episode. I think what we then uncovered was just the lack of information, right? I think at the time we knew that there wasn't a lot of information out there.
Yeah.
And I think our struggles in finding the info kind of led us on this path. And again, in thinking about just how open we are, naturally we'll speak to people, try to get information from other people, their viewpoints. So naturally we want to do the same. We want to try to spread the word.
Yeah, and on that, I think, sorry to cut you, but I think just with this introduction of who we are, I do want to land why we're doing this. It is something that's very intimate. We're getting to share a lot about our personal lives. There's a lot of people who might not even agree on what we're saying. But again, I will quote this in every single video. This is not medical advice. It's really just us telling a story of what we've been through. But the key thing is, the intended purpose is reaching somebody who really is in dire straits, who needs help, who needs some kind of like lighthouse just to help you to navigate where to next, how to, and just maybe our story of just the steps we took and how we got to where we are could actually just assist. And I wholeheartedly believe that it can, because of the progress we're seeing with Asher. And I do believe that the support structure we have in place are highly qualified and have had lots of experience with kids with autism. So I do think we are on the right track.
Yeah.
Evidence.
No, 100%. We're trying to spread the word so that you don't have to go through what we've gone through to kind of get the same
benefit, outcomes.
100%.
Because a lot of the things now that we understand, it's about natural living, natural interventions, things you can do at home. So the next episodes that we are planning, we've got agreement from these specialists who are going to come and just share things were eye-opening for us. Also, I can share some books that I've read and just some content that I've really investigated, or we've investigated, that has helped us to steer us in the right path. But yeah, so that was just a little bit more of an intro and taking it back a step before we move into our next episodes. But thank you for watching. If you're here still and still glued in, we really appreciate every single like, every single comment, every single likes and hearts and
the love,
comments and the love.
And again, if you can subscribe, we are doing the YouTube thing, so subscribe here or wherever the button is. We really appreciate it. We honestly will try our best to give you the best content from the right people to reach as many people as we can. So
please share if you know
100%.
any family or person needing help or just needing a bit of a lighthouse just to help you guide your way. So stay tuned.
Thank you.